Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Locum23. You're joining me for Fallout Shelter on the PC. Food, glorious food. The yolk's on you. Bring Radscorpion eggs back to the chef. The chef never ceases to be amazed by your uncanny ability to escape death, and he wants to celebrate it with a Radscorpion egg omelet. Vault 923 was recently overrun by these critters, so that'd be a good place to start. So how are all of you doing? I'm doing fine. I hope you're doing fine. If you're not, let me know in the comment section below. Always love to talk to you. Always like to know what's going on in your lives, just like you like to know what's going on in mine. So the other day, ooh, this one's gonna be a biggie. Unless we go around one-shotting everything. Radscorpion omelet! No, I'm kidding. We'll be done here in a pinch. Ah, the puns. So the other day, I'd say, well, I have done 2 mega bicycle rides. I'm a huge, bicyclist. Pretty much, if I can get anywhere on a bicycle, I will go it versus getting a ride. But it is nice to, just hop in a car and get, just go there, when you're feeling lazy. But I'd say 98% of my life revolves around bicycling. And, so right after my birthday, I believe it was on the 15th or 16th? One of those 2 days. I went and did a pretty good bicycle ride. It was, 45 miles. It was pretty exhausting, and, I had not done a bicycle ride that length in 5 years, honestly. Most of the bicycle rides I do are under 20 to 30 miles. And when I do a bicycle ride that length of, and that distance, it's typically for, working out or really pushing myself or things like that. Well, I technically have a ritual every birthday to ride as far as I can. Last year I had some setbacks, and it seems like for the past couple years I've had some setbacks. Now, one year I shattered my right foot. Not on my own doing, but I did shatter my foot, and it sets you back. When shit in your life happens, it sets you back. So I did that distance, and then I came out and I did another bicycle ride just the day before yesterday. And, how can I put it this way? So, they call them century. They call them century rides. Basically, it's where you ride 100 miles. I rode a little under 100 because I had a destination to go to. And the destination was going to a pulmonary specialist who unfortunately delivered me some bad news. And I told people on my social media page I was going to record the journey. I did, but, oh, hold on. What are you guys doing here? Don't you know this place is overrun by Radscorpions? I think I'm the only one left alive. Well, I think. We're here to harvest Radscorpion, nothing else. Our vault isn't too far away. You should go there. Yeah, it's probably a good idea. Hey, new dweller. So, I recorded some of it. I got a couple requests for, even though there's no real sound, to upload the video. I might. It just kind of sucks. I'm gonna do the journey again. Trust me. Unfortunately, I have to. And then I'm also going to be, because of the bad news I got, I'm going to be doing a lot more journeys, so there's going to be a lot more nature videos on the channel if you guys want. Long story short, the reason why I didn't do a century, which a century for a bicyclist is a monumental achievement. It's where you do 100 miles. It's very tough. It's very, it takes a lot of mental and physical preparations. So to me, to be someone who just jumped from the 20 to almost, that kind of a milestone, I didn't think I was prepared. I didn't want to be prepared. I didn't think, I just went to this, the destination as well as pushing myself. And I was like, you know what, we're going to do it. So to deliver the bad news, after these. We thought you were Radscorpions for a moment. Must have been the smell. And those things are aggressive and radioactive. Just nasty. Good thing the vault chef is paying us extra for those eggs. Wait a minute. Did our chef hire you guys as well? Sorry, we're in the... Wait. He probably thought you weren't up to the challenge. He was right. Really? Huh. Our chef is a prick. And when we get back to the vault, I will kill him. Anyway. So the bad news is... my health's not doing too good. Basically, I have for most of my life. I have always had asthma and other health issues. Pretty much in the household I grew up in, I didn't have a father, and my mother was off doing her own thing. So my grandparents raised me. My grandparents did a very shitty job. You may think, well, you're not a psychopath, you're not a killer, you're not a nut job, you're not the... They must have did a good job. No, that was me raising myself. I went through a lot in my household. Well, long story short, I never had a doctor. I'm serious. The only doctor that I ever got to see growing up was a ER doctor when my breathing got so bad to the point I was having asthma attacks. So, figuring you need a doctor. You need a doctor. You need someone that goes, you know what, let's run some blood panels, let's check your cholesterol, your thyroid, your, this, your that. Like I said, my doctor was the ER doctor. Up until I was 17 years old. Finally at 17 years old, actually 16. But 17 is when I got to actually see a doctor. Finally, I got to see an actual doctor. I actually got to go sit, and it was a new experience for me and everything. And, gotta love those new experiences. He sits down, and he did a bunch of tests and everything, and, I found out I have hypothyroidism, basically, where your metabolism is very slow. I have, pretty much a non-existent thyroid. No, I'm not some obese, like, 500-pound man, but I do have a little bit of weight on me. But I still stay fairly physically active. I have to, because my one special needs brother, as some of you may have known, I talk about them often. My one special needs brother is, he's unable to walk. So I have to literally carry him, and he's 2 1/4. So that just gives you an idea right there. So I'm not some weak-ass little fat guy that sits here and eats them burgers and fries from McDonald's, you know what I'm saying? I haven't had actually McDonald's in 10 years. I'm proud of that. So, finally, as I got out of that, Happy Meals are awesome! I'm going to open this lunchbox. So, like I said, there was a lot of things I found out. I mean, all my life I had asthma. That was a consistent thing. There was one time, and you can break asthma. You can break it. And I think I'm going to leave off on that because I think the next video, which will be Run, 3-Dog Run, I think that'll talk more about this. I feel like making this a 2-part series. And I don't want to be too long. But I'll talk a little here real quick while we do desperately, as you can see, need to make some room. So pretty much, asthma my whole entire life I had fought. You can beat it. When I was 13 years old, because of what was going on in my home, which maybe one day I'll talk about, because my grandparents, I decided to go into football. And I decided to go into track, and I decided to push myself, and I had many asthma attacks. I remember one of my, I got knocked the hell out on the football field. This guy, Stefan, big old guy, knocked the shit out of me. I actually blacked out. He was a big guy. He was a senior. I was just starting football, so, and I was a small guy who had never, I had gone through physical conflict, but I had never, like, had a guy run as fast as he could and throw his whole body into you in a football field. So that was new to me. So, and I was off guard. I didn't even, aside from seeing like the occasional football game when I was growing up, I didn't really know what football was all entailed. So I was naive, ignorant, everything, because if you told me how do you do this on a computer, oh, I was your genius boy to go to. But if you were to say, you know, how do you do this play or where do you go or anything, I had no clue. I had no clue until I got into football. Well, long story short, I had a couple of asthma attacks when I was doing the football. I was really pushing myself. Luckily, I had my rescue inhaler on me. But again, you typically, when you have things like that, you typically go to a doctor, right? Because, hey, doc, this happened to me the other day, and it can do damage. It can do damage. Some of it's temporary, some of it is permanent. For damage that happens to your respiratory system, your lungs, even your heart. The right side of your heart is what helps with oxygen and everything. So yes, by having asthma attacks and everything, you can hurt your heart. So keep that in mind. But I'll go ahead and continue this in the next part of the story. Like I said, I just wanted to, you know, get a little bit more in. Oh no, some feral ghouls. And we'll continue in that one. I figure, you know, we're all a family, we're all a community. And I'd share the news with you guys and let y'all know what's going on. So until the next video, which you saw before I showed you. Anyway, it's 2-minute mark. Back 2 minutes ago. Nonetheless, I'll share the rest of it. And I guess I didn't get around to the full explanation, which I'll get to in the next video. But until the next video, if you did enjoy the content, let me know in the comment section below. If you would like to please like and share the video. Also, if you want to follow me on social media, it's down in the description. If you want to help support myself or my channel, that's also down in the description below. And until next video, stay well, stay awesome, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.